know the reason why we're in the conditions we're in now?
Hey, I'm saying that broke our law.
We broke God's commandments, right? So, okay, I'm keeping up speed. That's good. You know that, right? We're going to get that. Give me that, because read Deuteronomy 28:1. Because if we would have listened, we'd have been set up in a certain place. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
All right, Stafford, if we would have listened, we'd have been set up high, right? But why are we not in that position today? Verse 15. Because there's a reason why we're not in that position. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So if we didn't listen, curses was going to come upon us and overtake us, right? So now he's talking to the people, you know what I'm saying, in this book, right? Give me verse 45. Because it goes way past them. Watch it. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 45. Moreover, all these curses,
and we're going to get into some of these curses. Read.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed.
Go ahead.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So he says, he restated, he's going to put curses on them because they did not listen. Read.
To keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall...
And they, the curses, read.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
It says the curse is going to be on the Israelites for a sign and a wonder. How I know this is an evangel street? It's a sign, right? How I know that's Save More? It's a sign. How I know this Exxon? It's a sign. A sign is an identification marker, right? He says the curse is going to be on you for a sign, and read,
and for a wonder.
A wonder. Because a lot of people wonder who are these people in the book, right? Hold that, go to Ecclesiastes, I think 14, not in the pocket, Ecclesiastes 14 and 16, I think. It's 4 and 16. So now it's identifying marker, right? I don't want to lose that. You got 4 and 16?
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 16. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them.
It says there's no end. Back to what I'm saying, it's identified. So it's no end of all the people, read.
Even of them that have been before thee.
So let me ask you something. Even them that before them. So I'm going to ask you a question. Is your great-great-grandfather still living? He's living through the bloodline of the lineage of you. So it says there's no end from all the people, right? So I say that to say this. When we think about people in the Bible, they have descendants. Go back to Deuteronomy 28 and that's more on that? Go ahead, read.
They also that come after shall not rejoice in him.
So now it says those that come after. Go ahead, you can drop it. I need to go back. You know what I'm saying, to get my point. You know what I'm saying, 28 and you at verse 46. Read.
And Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46. And that they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
The curse is going to be upon us for a sign, identifying mark, and a wonder. Because people wonder, Stafford, who are the people of this book? You know what I'm saying? If you was not told or ran across a video and you couldn't see yourself in the Bible. You couldn't see yourself in the Bible. So you're like, who's these people? That's why people say, oh, they don't exist. That's why I asked you, is your great-grandfather still living? And you say, no, but he's a lineage because he had a child, and he had a child. That's why the scripture says there's no end to all the people. Read.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So it says the curse is going to be upon thy seed forever, your children. Because so when Moses brought this out to the Israelites, he's telling them, but it's going to be on a sign. So the people with the sign of the curses are the people of the book. And here's a curse that happened. Give me verse 68 right quick. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
The Lord shall bring the Israelites into Egypt again. Because if you know a little bit about the Bible, you know what I'm saying, when they was in Egypt, they served slavery to Pharaoh, right? You got that? Read.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Egypt is the house of bondage. You know what I'm saying? The house of slavery. That's where they were serving slaves under the Egyptians, right? Go back, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
The Lord shall bring them to Egypt again, slavery again, you know what I'm saying? But look how it happened. How did our ancestors get here?
Bring it out.
On slave ships, you know that. All praise to the Lord. Read.
With ships.
So he was prophesying the 1619 transatlantic slave trade. Because like I said, it says the curse is going to be upon you for a sign and a wonder. And on thy seed, the seed of these people in the book was prophesied. We went back into Egypt. You know what I'm saying? From the west coast of Africa to the Americas, enslaved. You know what I'm saying? Black history is Bible prophecy. Read. And they're going to show you what happened. Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold.
We were sold to our enemies. I'm sorry. We're sold to our enemies. You know what I'm saying? Read.
Ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
We're sold to our enemies, not our friend, for slave man and slave woman. Who did that happen to? To us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
And no man shall buy you.
No man shall redeem you but Christ. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X tribe, Martin Luther King tribe. No man, you know what I'm saying? To redeem us. Right, so okay. Now that we got a tidbit, so I'm actually without a shadow of doubt, you know that we are the Israelites, right? You believe that wholeheartedly. So now, give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12. So, but now, why we are in the condition we're in? We broke God's commandments. So all right. So now this is how we get back right with God. This is what God expects of us. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 12. And now, Israel, what does the Lord thy God require of thee?
So he says, make it personal. Stop it. He said, what does God require of you? What do you think God requires of you? Keep the laws and the commandments. Keep the commandments, right? Read.
And now, Israel, what does the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God.
Fear the Lord thy God. Do you know how you fear the Lord thy God? Hold that. Give me that in Psalms 119 and 120. Because we don't fear God. We are people that have no fear of God. We think God is all love. That's what you was taught, huh? The same God that destroyed all the Egyptians. The same God that told Saul to kill all the Amalekites. But we have no reason to fear God. But the Bible says fear God. You know why we're supposed to fear God? Read.
My Psalms chapter 119 and verse 120. My flesh trembleth with fear of thee, and I am afraid of thy judgments.
We're afraid of God's judgment because we break the commandments. God can say, blow that candle out. Life is gone. Go ahead, go back. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways.
To walk in God's ways, right? Read.
And to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. To keep the commandments of the Lord.
To keep the commandments of the Lord. Stafford, read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
It's for our good. It's for our good. It's for our good, right? To keep the commandments of God. So Stafford, check this out. So now, do you know some commandments of God? We're going to deal with some small, basic commandments of God. Do you know some of them? What do you know? Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not. Okay, the basic 10 commandments, right? But then they have the 10 commandments is a base, but then they have sub laws that go underneath. Because if I tell you in the 10 commandments, where can I find homosexuality? It goes underneath fornication. It goes underneath fornication laws, right? But watch, I'm gonna give you simple cultural commandments, and then they have other commandments. Because you see, as being an Israelite, right, it comes with a culture and a heritage. Give me Jeremiah 17:4. It comes with a culture and a heritage.
Right.
Because it's all about the way you live, the way you dress, the way you look. Because, okay, if you say, okay, I know I'm an Israelite, or, you know what I'm saying, I know who I am, I know I come from the tribe of Judah, how can I look at you and say you are from that? Because you looked at us and you know. So, but if we look at you, could we tell? Think about it. Because watch this, I'm going to show you commandments you're keeping, and I'm going to show you commandments that you need to work on, right? So, what you got right there? Watch this, read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee.
God gave us a heritage, you know what I'm saying? We disconnected from it. Because if I asked you, what is your culture, what is your heritage, you couldn't tell me. You know what I'm saying? You got your culture and your heritage through slavery. You was told when you were black. You were told when you were African American. You were told, you know what I'm saying, rap music is your culture. You were told, them little kids, skinny pants and Vans, that's their style. That's their swagger, that's their culture. They was told that. You know what I'm saying, we gravitate and try to make something that, you know what I'm saying, belong to us when God gave us everything.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.